Greetings, everyone. I'm Dianne Thomas, and welcome back to my Certified High Performance Coaching Training Series in support of Dianne's CHPC Recertified Project 2017. It's an online crowdfunding campaign hosted at Generosity by Indiegogo, and it was launched on April 17th to help me raise the funds I'll need to recertify as a Certified High Performance Coach in June. Now, there's a link below this video. Hopefully, you'll be interested in going to the website and contributing to my campaign financially, as well as being a perk partner, because I am still looking for goods and services that I can offer as incentives to visitors and potential contributors to the site. So hopefully you'll be interested in doing that. Now, I've created this training series to go along with this campaign, and it will run as the campaign will through May 26th. And it will be giving you some foundational understanding of the principles that certified high performance coaches use with their clients to help them get to higher levels of achievement. And those principles are otherwise known as the 5 pillars of high performance: clarity, energy, courage, productivity, and influence. And I'll be covering one of those principles every weekday, Monday through Friday. And I've done a couple of videos already, so they are at my YouTube channel. If you go by and visit that channel, you'll be able to get caught up there. This training series, as I mentioned before, I've created some little cutesy words so that they kind of give some indicators as to what we're doing on each one of these pillars. So it's Clarity Monday today, and we are going to be looking at 3 words that we can identify and use to define how we show up in the world, and we identify ourselves. 3 words that define how we want to engage with others, and 3 words that define success for us. What is success in 3 words? And what I've been suggesting over the few weeks that we've been doing this is that you come up with those 3 words. While they may change from day to day depending on your priorities and things that you're doing, they should be pretty solid and comfortable for you, because you want to be able to do them and show up as that and aspire to that level. Because as we mentioned a number of times, as high achievers seeking to perform at high levels, we need prompts, we need little reminders. And so these words help us stay on task. And I had also suggested that a way to keep you engaged on that level and keep you on that track is to put these words in your cell phone, set an alarm a couple times a day. Maybe having a particular hectic day, you want to have a reminder that'll remind you to get back on track to who you started out that morning wanting to be, how you started out wanting to engage with people, and how you started out and intend to go through the rest of the day and onward in terms of working towards your success markers, so to speak. So I've been using myself as an example, and I've been coupling these words in those 3 particular areas with 3 foundational principles that I run my life by, I live my life by, which is lifelong learning, continuous improvement, and personal responsibility. So we've done a couple of those in the previous videos that you'll see in terms of the Clarity Monday videos. Today we're going to look, we're going to kind of explore with you my process for getting to the 3 words that I use when I'm thinking about engaging with others and getting clarity in engaging with others in terms of lifelong learning, because I've dubbed myself a lifelong learner a long time ago. So what I want to always think about are 3 particular things when I'm engaging with others with lifelong learning. Learning to continue to be curious about the world around me and the people that I share it with. Learning to be humble and remaining humble and accepting humility in terms of recognizing, of course, I don't know everything, but I can learn from the most interesting people to who may seem to be the most ordinary. And that I'm able to then use what I learn in service to others. So my 3 words around clarity in engaging with others towards my lifelong learning goals are curiosity, humility, and service. Now, I remember years ago when I and this is years ago, when I had been watching an interview with Toni Morrison, acclaimed author, and she was being interviewed by someone, I can't recall, but the conversation turned just to her experiences with people, I guess, and how she gets ideas for books and things. And she says, well, I have never met a boring person, so I'm never at a loss for topics or perspectives from other people. And I thought that was a little interesting to me, because I think we can all recall having conversations or meeting people who didn't necessarily inspire us and kind of left us maybe intellectually and emotionally flat, is the term that I would use it, whether it's their tone of voice or their affect, just the way they were acting. We just find our minds just drifting off while they were talking to us, and, we're rolling our eyes on the inside and, not terribly engaged in the conversation and what they were saying to us. So she had me kind of looking at myself and saying, well, is it me? I may be misjudging some of these communications that I'm having, and started questioning how I was looking at other people. And, because I had always, of course, she was a highly respected author, I'd read her books. I thought she was incredibly intuitive, and I just loved reading her prose. And she didn't write about boring people. So I said, did she just happen to be that lucky to always meet very fascinating people, or was it her imagination in terms of engaging with these people that helped her to not see their ordinariness as boring? I just was really trying to figure out how she was making that conclusion, or came to that conclusion. Now, my tendency is usually to be pretty analytical and impatient in terms of my intellectual stimulus. My mind's always going all the time. And so I was just really curious about her perspective, and a bit pressed to adapt it, to be honest, but I did recognize that it was going to take me a major effort to try to just be present with people and not think ahead and conversations and things, because I do tend to do that, and just listen to what they were saying. And it helped me then to conclude that really, until I opened my eyes and my mind, I really wasn't going to be able to get the full benefit of these engagements that I was having. And so I had to really listen. And then recognizing then, if I asked the right questions, if something piqued my curiosity, I was then able to get them to say a whole lot more that really then let me to see, whatever these preconceived notions I had about this person just dropped away. And it really engaged my curiosity in terms of the conversation. And in that realm, I realized I was never bored, They never failed to fascinate me, these conversations I was having. And it also taught me a whole lot more about myself even than it did about the person I was talking to, because we all have heard the term of not judging a book by its cover, though we do tend to do that because visuals are so powerful. They're incredibly powerful influencers and to our minds in the way we prejudge things. And so as often I found as I had been wrong about the way I thought things were going to be, was as many times as I was able then to release these prejudgments I had and get very focused on what I was hearing, because I like to look for the real, the truth, and recognizing as well that the truth can be very messy. Now, it was a relief because I was then able to see where I was going off on my assumptions about people, or where I was really spot on, particularly in judging what I was hearing. And that's when my humility had to kick in there. That's when I had to step back and check myself and recognize a lot of times this was happening on, after I've had these conversations on my ride home. I would be processing well, gee, that really didn't seem like that's the direction they were going to go in with what they were saying. But wow, I really jumped the gun on that. So I would process a lot of stuff while I'm driving or, journaling, things like that. It's amazing because it's almost like clearing clogged sinuses. You just feel so clear and invigorated because you're like, wow, this was an amazing experience that I had. Now, I often find myself referencing those lessons that I've learned in those most unexpected circumstances with friends and family. I would have these conversations, particularly if they had anything to do with emotional well-being or self-esteem or perseverance. I'd find myself having these conversations as a product of what I had learned from these really amazing people. And it really helped me to confirm either, my well-placed faith and presumption, or just being completely annihilated in terms of the assumptions that I then realized, as I said before, I had to just do away with. And once I prefaced it, and in my then follow-up conversations with friends and family by, well, it's been my experience that, then I was actually really honoring those lessons that I had learned from those most unlikely teachers. And I was then, as I recognized over the years, those conversations helped to shape who I am today. Now, I call it wisdom, you may as well. And it just taught me to really welcome my interactions with every new person that I meet and be as eagerly looking forward to what they have to teach me as I do to my next birthday. So, high performer, high achiever, what 3 words have you come up with over the course of this training series or today? And it doesn't necessarily have to follow the pattern that I use for myself, but have some foundational goals that you have for yourself that you want to play out, to live out in the way that you show up in the world, in the way that you engage with others, and in the way that you pursue success. And then I certainly hope that you will take some time to share either on this page in the comment section or at Get Dianne CHPC Recertified 2017 on my Facebook page, or if you're watching this on YouTube, share it there as well. So until next time, have a wonderful Clarity Monday, and thank you so much for participating.